Is sniping too easy in Battlefield 6? There are a couple mechanics that I think make it easier than it should be. The first being the rangefinder. So I don't have an issue with the rangefinder in concept, just the way that DICE implemented its usage. So rangefinder gives you the range of the target you're looking at, but it also zeroes the scope to that distance. So all you really have to do is point, range find, and shoot, and you don't have to account for bullet drop, drag, or any of that unless the target is moving. If the target's still, all you have to do is point and shoot. And you can make it even easier by binding the range finding zeroing button or key to the same button or key that you use to fire the weapon. So all you have to do with the rangefinder is point and shoot, and it'll account for bullet drop, range, everything just by shooting. So that makes it way too easy in my opinion. Takes the skill out of having to account for bullet drop, that kind of stuff. So if the rangefinder, all it did was just give you the range and then you had to either manually zero the scope or adjust your aim to account for the distance and bullet drop, that kind of stuff, I wouldn't have an issue with it. But since it's all in one, all you have to do is point and shoot with the rangefinder, it makes it way too easy in my opinion. Second main gripe is going to be the sweet spot mechanic. So I don't have too big of an issue with the sweet spot mechanic because it is a limited range where if you're in the sweet spot range for the weapon that you're using, you can get a one-shot kill, even if it's not a headshot. But I believe it has to be either a neck shot and or an upper body shot. So lower body shot, limb shots, I don't think count for that sweet spot. It has to be upper torso or neck. So still requires a bit of skill there, but at the same time, the sweet spots being at longer ranges, that is the main issue for me, because it promotes passive play. It promotes the snipers just hanging back from a safe distance, either on the hills or behind cover, just shooting from a distance with that sweet spot. Whereas if the sweet spot was like a closer range mechanic that encouraged objective play, I think I would be a little bit more on board with it. So if it was like within 20 meters or something, rewarded players for getting on the objective, playing the objective, aggressive play, I wouldn't mind it too much, although that would still probably be pretty annoying being one shot by a sniper the moment they see you within whatever range that is. But if it promoted more aggressive play, helping on the objective, that kind of stuff, I think I would be a little bit more on board with it versus incentivizing just hanging back from a safe distance, picking at people from range, not really helping on the objective. The case can be made that killing enemies helps players cap the objective, but you're not really intentionally contributing to the objective, you know? And then the final thing, not too big of an issue, is the steady scope. So only the recon is able to steady the scope, which I think is a good balancing decision that way. If you really want to be effective as a sniper, you do have to play the recon because none of the other classes can hold their breath and steady the scope. But the main issue is how long you can hold your breath while steadying the scope. I believe it's something like 12 seconds, which is a crazy amount of time. Realistically, you should be able to hold your breath that long in the real world, but this is not the real world. This is a video game, and being able to just ADS and hold steady your scope for such a long period of time waiting for enemies to either step out into your scope or come out of cover, that's a bit too much. Again, it incentivizes too much of the passive play, just hanging back, ADS, waiting for enemies, not really getting into the action, helping the objective, that kind of stuff. But yeah, those are my main issues with sniping in this game. Makes it a little too easy, a little too casual friendly, and too much passive play in my opinion. But let me know down in the comments what you think of sniping in this game, if you think it's too easy or not, if it's too hard or just right, just the way it is. But at the end of the day, People are going to play however they're going to play. Even if sniping was perfect mechanically, there would still be players who just hang back at the edge of the map, sniping from a safe distance, from behind cover, that kind of stuff. But I think the game design should at least try to incentivize more objective play, more aggressive play, versus just hanging back, sitting in the hills, where all you see is a bunch of scope glints in the mountains. The hills have eyes, you know what I'm saying? But yeah, that's it for this one. Thanks for watching. I'll see you guys in the next one. Peace.